Good now, revolutionaries, and welcome to the Rise Up Morning Show. Will's on the casting couch, and Alex is left in protest.
I'm on the casting couch, and Alex ran.
Looks pretty comfy, though.
Dude, this is nice. Wow, this is nice.
That might be the way to do the stream. I might have to start streaming from my couch.
You know what? Maybe we should do, because we don't do on Friday. So Thursday, kick your feet up and relax a little bit. And I got my socks on, so I'm not showing my toes for free.
Yeah, you got to pay extra for that.
You got to pay extra for the toes.
Meanwhile, I'm standing every day.
You are. You really are. You're getting the calories, man. You're burning that midnight oil.
It's okay. I just take a nap until you guys go, Will, how about a market update? And I go, huh, yeah. All right. Anyway. Data.
So I started the backstage show by saying this could be our last stream on TikTok, but you were saying, guys, that we maybe have some soft news that TikTok could be saved.
Soft news is the best way to describe it. Yes.
But
okay, tell me about it.
No news. Yeah, well, NBC article came out that said 3 sources close to the president say that you should not expect TikTok to get banned on Sunday. So we'll see. That was about it. They're exploring legal options to basically kick this can down the road. However, I also understood that if the Supreme Court comes out and says we uphold it, there's limited options even for Biden. So we'll see. But there's some positive news. So we'll see.
Well, yeah, there are still options, but they just get a little bit more sus. The whole thing is basically just stupid because Congress made a bet that they really don't want to get into right now.
Yeah.
How is this different?
Also, Cracky, it won't be 270 days extra. That bill was shut down by a senator from Arkansas, so boo that man.
Oh, yeah.
Tom Cotton.
His name's actually Tom Cotton.
Yeah, Senator Tom Cotton from Arkansas, a royal twat.
Wow, what a horrific name to be from a southern state.
Come for him.
Wow, that feels really old-fashioned. But yeah, so it wouldn't be 270 days. Biden could pause it for 90 days, though.
How do we know this is different than a prominent banking official in Japan says every bank is going to use XRP in 2025? Because I treat that as not news until they prove it.
You should be very skeptical of it. And honestly, I just quit paying attention to any updates on TikTok about it because everyone is so confidently saying, yes, VPN, no VPN, yes, go dark. No one has any idea what the hell's going on. But the one person who is in the White House talking to people is V from Under the Desk News. Yeah. And also at this point, they are personal friends with the CEO and went to the hearing they were at, the Senate thing, the senator, I'm Singaporean. They were there and has been talking to Biden administration officials about it every step of the way kind of thing. So if there is someone who has a vague idea of what's going on,
it's her.
It's them.
Interesting.
So now we wait.
And they said that we shouldn't expect the ban. So we'll see.
Okay. All right. I'm not panicking. You're not panicking. But if you want to follow us on other socials, it's also not a bad idea. We live on Facebook. We live on Twitter. We live on LinkedIn. We live on YouTube. And we would love to see you there. You can find all our links at theriseupmorningshow.com, or even better, join the free Rise Up Discord server at discord.gg/riseup. The links are in the text box on the screen. The only thing missing from that community is you. It's a great place to ask your crypto question 24/7. We'd love to see you there. So what's on the docket today, guys? We've got a couple tokens that have had a bit of a run. Crypto Machinery was noting XRP is pumping. Solana has gone up 15% on the 24-hour, I think. Are we entering the beginning phases of that Trump pump we were talking about?
Well, looks like we were already in it. But the other pumps were inflation report related. And now we're in that Trump pump. But there's a big gap on the daily chart for the stock market. So be cautious that there's some bearish pressure caused by that. But I think that could potentially be filled very quickly. We have U.S. retail sales data coming out in 19 minutes. If that is less than satisfactory, you could see a short wick. But the thing is yes, U.S. retail sales data is very important, but our biggest fight right now is with inflation. So there's still a net positive from a macro standpoint for the week. So I would expect there to be like a little quick dip if the data comes out less than satisfactory. And then, things end up doing just fine. Yeah.
Yeah, certainly. We'll see. It looks like folks are commenting ADA is also experiencing a bit of a run. Good for them.
Well,
all the Dino coins, man.
Yeah, but which kind of makes sense, right? It's name recognition. They're first on the shelf. All those sorts of things. There's no specific project news that came out, I would say, that would affect anything individually, except probably XRP, just with the changing of the guard and all that nonsense,
Yeah, Gary Gensler grasping at power on his way out the door.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I don't see anything that would. Although I always am curious to know if Cardano is trending on CryptoPanic, because I expect at least one or two articles there.
Yeah.
It's a favorite. It's a favorite of the show.
I also think there's some speculation about, I'd be curious to see like XLMH bar, Algo, because this narrative of like US based cryptocurrencies will be tax free has gotten a lot of legs.
Yeah, which is hilarious because it's like one of the easiest things to verify that it's too late for any tax laws in 2025 to change.
Yeah,
correct.
Without just like sweeping the most hastily Congress has ever moved, and Congress is not going to move quickly to get rid of taxes on middle America, I'm sorry to say.
Yeah, I see it.
2026 though, maybe, who knows?
Yeah, but that's a whole different thing, and you still have to pay taxes this year. So
yeah, exactly. You cannot affect the taxes for this year already because this year has started.
Yeah, don't plan on getting some sort of weird Hail Mary where you won't have to pay taxes this year. Like, don't buy and sell.
You're gonna have to. You're gonna have to pay those taxes the next 2 years.
And if your question is, should you capitalize on this pump? Honestly, no. It's getting harder and harder for me to like answer that by just saying because the classic, no, like as everything has exploded in the past 2 days, so has the risk of buying it right now. Like if you weren't in it already and you buy it, you've heard the phrase exit liquidity. That's who's buying things right now. The people who are going to have a very high average. I mean, XRP is at an all-time high, right? This is they passed it officially, right?
Oh,
right.
Yeah, they did. Oh, wow.
So
wow.
You're buying that today. It's the worst point in the history of XRP for you to buy it, like bar none.
Cardano.
It's a trap.
So go ahead, knock yourself out, but just know that your risk is absolutely through the roof.
Matt D says no, it's 3.84, but we're also talking about market cap all-time highs here.
Yeah,
it's at a market cap all-time high.
Oh, yeah. Oh, guys, why are we even talking about this then?
Yeah, exactly.
Not price. It doesn't make the portfolio.
Doesn't get the people going. We had a really good question. Why don't you guys ever talk about DeSci and an invitation to check out Axon DAO?
Quite a few.
We talked about DeSci
many times.
Who wants to give a bumper sticker about it? You want me to do it?
Go for it.
So our thing on decentralized science is it's a hot narrative. It's hyper speculative right now. I just don't think it is realistic to say that a crypto token as a fundraising vehicle is also a helpful incentive for scientists and others to get paid for their research. I think a speculative token needs to be a speculative token, and a funding token needs to be a funding token, more stable. If I'm a scientist, I really don't want you to pay me in tokens that are going to go like this. And also, if we're doing things like raising money for research that everybody owns, think about like the pharmaceutical industry or the centralized scientific industry now. Think about the actual scale of funding that is required to, for example, move a drug through clinical trials. We're talking billions, like big billions, more than $10 billion to move a drug from idea through testing to market. There's so much red tape, and it just seems unlikely to me that a couple $100 million or a couple $1 billion from like what is basically a meme coin, even if all your founding team went to Yale, is going to be the solution you think it is in a world where Pfizer exists and can pay it. And I want to see science decentralized, but we've got to have better incentives. Is it a great use of blockchain? Yes. But most of the models I personally have seen, including Axon DAO, the incentives aren't aligned. The crypto token is not helping the cause. Did I hit most of the points?
Yeah. And from an investor standpoint, it makes the least sense. And it's on its face, like it's unabashedly a bad investment. And I say that knowing full well that DeSci tokens can absolutely pump for no reason. For future reference, when I say bad investment, I mean actual investment, not bad gamble. Like things might pump in the short term and then they will dump into oblivion.
It's probably a great gamble if you're early, and you're not early.
Probably a great gamble if you're early. Yeah, absolutely. But when we talk about investing for the long term, the kind of portfolio that you can build where, like, if you crash 20% in a day and you're in crypto, you don't have to lose 6 years off of your life and get a bunch of new gray hair. The whole profit model and the business structure of DeSci cryptocurrencies is quite literally you buy it so they can sell it.
Yeah.
It doesn't make any sense. Why on earth would you be the buyer something that's only real incentive is to sell it?
You might be up 10x, 20x, 100x, but it's gambling in the sense that it's not a sustainable business model where people are going to generate revenue and meaningful solutions. If your investment thesis is being early to projects, whether they have any legs or not, then good for you. I hope you make a lot of money. I don't recommend it because I think it's a lot harder to predict which tokens and companies will be successful. And it's generally speaking very hard for retail investors like us to get in early on tokens like that. We're almost always late. And I think it's a lot more precise or strategic to be able to make a decision based on fundamentals, to evaluate that decision in retrospect. Because the goal as an investor is to be able to do better tomorrow than you did today. And in order to do that, you need to make choices that can be evaluated for their merit. And if you're just kind of gambling, you're like, wow, I like the name, or wow, people seem to be paying attention to this. That's like a valid metric to move money with, but it's hard to critically evaluate in hindsight. In hindsight, I find.
Yeah, I would say they're really good pumpamentals, if you will, if Nathan were here, DeFi Daddy. And you can definitely make money off of them for sure. It's just that it's not something that I would invest in because I just don't believe in the model that the overwhelming majority of them have expressed to me that is their business model. It's just not something that makes sense for a very heavily regulated industry.
Did you see Rocket Man's comment? Will talking crypto on his deathbed. He's on the casting couch.
I'm on my deathbed because if TikTok doesn't get banned, then
a little small
I have to add some lunar pattern chart.
Yeah, if you join us over on YouTube, you can see the extension of the legs hanging off and the feet inside the socks. Oh, he's doing a nice little kick there. That's nice. You got some good gams there, boy.
Oh, I got good gams. It's all that skiing.
Your getaway sticks.
Now this, yeah.
Anyway,
take it easy.
Anywho,
so if you've got crypto questions, let us know. If you haven't followed us over on YouTube, please be sure to do that. Please be sure to connect with us on other socials, just in case. We're glad to have your questions always. And just because we don't like something, we're not going to pick on you for it. We don't invest in XRP. We're still big fans of Ripple, but I
don't invest in almost anything.
That's right. We all of us really don't.
I have 3 coins.
So we're kind of boring, truly kind of boring.
And Wisdom, speaking from the experience of someone who has met Ripple's marketing team, none of the influencers are, because they just keep doing it for free.
Yeah, they do it for free.
Ripple doesn't have to pay any influencers because these people will absolutely never, ever stop talking about it. So it's the best ever. They will sit there and say, hey, man, we have a completely free marketing department. And there you go.
We got a lot of questions coming in, like, what do you think is better, Near or Render? I would personally say it's hard to compare the two. Please, what happened to Litecoin? Yeah. Please, what happened to Litecoin? Tell us. Why'd you say Near and Render aren't comparable, Will?
Well, Near is a platform crypto akin to like an Ethereum or Solana, and Render is a decentralized infrastructure play that wants to decentralized access to computational power. They're not comparable.
What is the news about Litecoin? I didn't know there was any news about Litecoin.
Or I think what is new about Litecoin is the question.
Oh, what is new about Litecoin? Well, in 2017, it was an alternative. It was an alternative to Bitcoin, and it was pretty novel then. There were not a lot of cryptocurrency tokens, and somebody forked Bitcoin.
Litecoin is right now is just trending as an ETF potential this year.
Oh, no. Interesting. Yeah, I've heard Litecoin, Solana, XRP, and like one or two others in that conversation that I'm not sure makes sense, except maybe for novelty.
Well, it's just, as you try to guess, most of crypto is trying to take a guess and trying to get into the thing early based on a guess and flipping that coin.
Yeah.
Right. Which is, that's the nature of speculative venture investing. Litecoin is just ancient. It's among, like, if a brand new platform is going to start offering cryptocurrency, they're going to start with the same four: Bitcoin, Bitcoin Cash, Litecoin, and Ethereum. And Litecoin, just like by proximity, will do the thing. So it's a logical step to say ETF wise, it's old, tested, been around. Who cares that it doesn't do anything?
I do not expect it to be a popular ETF product, though, and just because an ETF product is made doesn't mean that it doesn't get trash canned. Plenty of ETFs have been made and then trash canned. So even if it does get made, I don't expect it.
No, but that would be a gamble that I would play. Like, I would throw some money on Litecoin in anticipation that there was going to be. I'd try to time it based on what I thought the buy the rumor, sell the news was going to be. If I wanted to gamble on something, that would be the kind of gamble I would do.
Yeah, if I were gambling on an ETF listing, that would be Solana.
Yeah. Well, I mean, we've seen Solana ETF speculation, and people have actually filed applications for them. Not that they've necessarily gone anywhere.
Yep.
Going back to Consensus last year is when Mike Novogratz on stage was starting the speculation about the Solana ETF. Like, you would see it in 2025, which we knew that was going to happen the second that the Bitcoin ETFs finally got approved. It's like, okay, now now we're entering the era of like when Pepe ETF, just because you can hold up the Bitcoin thing, which, like you said, is just it's a new genre of speculation. That's it.
It looks like they made an amendment recently. Litecoin posted about this. And by the way, Litecoin's Twitter account is kind of weird. I'll tell you in a second.
Why? They're getting unhinged right now.
Canary USA had filed with the SEC, but it looks like they filed an amendment. It's a form called an S1. And I think that it's kind of a nothing burger, maybe to keep they posted it saying, well, what do you know? And then a screenshot of the amendment filing. And I think a lot of people who maybe aren't too savvy about it, I had to look a little deeper, honestly. It's in the text right there. But an amendment to a form is like, hey guys, don't forget we filed for an ETF kind of thing is the vibe it gives me. Their Twitter is weird though, because they say things like, "Dear Diary, today I had some papers resubmitted on my behalf so that people can buy me in little chunks through their regular trading apps. Important people are going to think some more about it." Like, I don't know. It's just a weird, voice that they tweet with, as if Litecoin is a person, but not in a cute Pixar-y way. Like, they should lean into it if that's what they want to do.
No, it's really weird. I mean, last week that they tweeted out a couple of things that were just like super unhinged, and then like an hour later they were like, "Hey, the Litecoin Twitter account has been compromised," and then everyone freaked out, and then they were like, "We're just kidding."
Oh my god!
And then they just kept going, being unhinged.
What? Oh man, they're just going for that engagement.
The Twitter is the only interesting thing about Litecoin. It's the only interesting thing that's happened for Litecoin in years.
Shout out to the 9 people who are listening right now on Twitter. We love that you guys are streaming the show everywhere. I know that Karen is streaming the show on YouTube along with some of our other friends, switching over from TikTok, wherever you are, whenever you listen. Just know that we really, really appreciate it. Have we already discussed the Bitcoin dominance? No, but Will, wake up from your nap. That sounds like something you did?
Yeah, I made 5 videos this morning. Oh no.
Of course you did.
Yeah, I made 5 videos this morning.
Yeah. Damn, man.
Hello, Ramyar from Finland. Yeah, Bitcoin dominance is fallen hard, which is great. It's falling below support at the 200-day exponential moving average, which is wonderful. And this fall started as soon as the CPI data came out, which I called. Said it was going to happen if we got good data. And yeah, so risk on environment looks good when it looks like rates might not be hiked. So altcoins, nothing riskier than them. They're doing great right now. And if we can have a daily candle close below the 200-day exponential moving average, Bitcoin dominance, which is at roughly 58%, could have a nice fall to 56.5 to 56%, which would be great for altcoins. So that a pre-Trump inauguration pump could really do wonderful things for altcoins, while Bitcoin, if Trump on day one, passes an executive order for a strategic Bitcoin reserve, I say Bitcoin minimally gets sent to 116K. If that's the case, I still expect Bitcoin dominance to fall. So if Bitcoin goes up on a roughly 16% ride up, because it's roughly $100,000, 100,000 to 116, 16%, easy math. It's nice when it works out like that. Then, you're going to see some altcoins put up some big boy numbers.
So we had a couple of questions here that I'd like to answer rapid fire. I saw Misty's question, but Will, I wanted to invite you. I think you said that report was coming out in 19 minutes. That's 3 minutes. Do you need to be at your computer, and will you cover it for us?
I will, and I was actually just thinking about transitioning on over.
You transition, and we'll answer a couple of these rapid fire questions. One of these you might know off the top of your head, though, first, which is Misty asked, where can I find data about ETF inflows and outflows in Canada? Do we know? I'm looking right now.
Canada.
Yeah, like specifically so Canadian inflows, outflows.
I go on Farside Investors for the US ETFs. I guess they would follow the one in Canada, but my question to you would be, why are you interested in following the ETF inflows in Canada? Because sorry, Canada, it's not important. It's not important. I'm sorry. The ETF inflows in any other part of the world don't really matter. Yeah, sure, it all adds up. Every little bit adds up, but the only place where the ETF inflows and outflows matter is the United States, because that's the only place that has large money flows. It's the only one.
According to GPT, you can find them at the Canadian ETF Association, or CETFA. And the ETF provider's official websites, of course. So if there's a particular ETF you're looking at that has a Canadian custodian, their website is going to have a report about that. Alex, can you answer this one about cold wallets? Why should I get a cold wallet? And can you tell me which cold wallet you think is the best to use? Trick question there, but I know you'll get it.
Yeah, I mean, Trezor is my personal choice. I've never had a single reason to go with a different one. So I have used the same Trezor Model T since the first day I bought it to right now. Never changed. And yeah, I mean, it's the most secure way to protect cryptocurrency. So I would say the second it's time to get one.
Why is it the most secure?
So when you're talking about protecting data, which is essentially what you're doing if you want to guard your cryptocurrency, the more offline, the more difficult to access that data is, the safer it is. Just, the farther you get it away from people who can steal it, the safer it is. And there's no, as of right now, there's no way to get it farther away from prying hands than to put it on a cold storage device, which is called cold because it's not connected to the internet. It just means it's way harder for someone to infiltrate it. You would essentially have to let them in. So it's not completely foolproof. You could leave your seed phrase lying around and someone could just log into it. But if you're able to not do that, then you're good. And as far as when you should get one, I personally think that the second you have enough money in crypto that you plan on keeping there, by that I mean not selling today, because even if you're only going to keep it for a week, doesn't take that long to send it to and from cold storage. The second you have enough money that you'd be pissed if you lost it, that's when it's time to get cold storage, in my humble opinion.
Yeah. And I wanted to highlight a comment that said, for cold storage advocacy, they have crypto on Binance that they haven't been able to access. If you put your crypto on a central exchange like Binance or Coinbase or Kraken, those sites are they're secure. Like, they're best in class security. They're doing everything they can to take care of your private key, but they are taking care of your private key. It's not truly yours. We have a saying in crypto, not your keys, not your crypto. And you should look into self-custody wallets if your crypto is stored on a centralized exchange. And if you're not sure whether or not your crypto is on a central exchange, just do a Google search. Is Coinbase a centralized exchange? You can learn a lot that way. And I would just add, as a way to wrap it up, that I don't really think that there's any such thing as the best cold wallet, except maybe the best cold wallet for you, based on how easy it is for you to use it consistently, securely, and well. Like Alex uses the Trezor. I use a Ledger Nano X. I think it's great. I think people use Tangem and like it, or SafePal has a cold wallet, and That one seems to be pretty great. Mostly it's about user experience. Which one do you like using and which one is easiest? And you can find tutorials for every single cold wallet on YouTube. And they're good. Like somebody is showing you from the top, every step, how to start working with this thing. And I would spend 5 minutes a day watching those tutorials when you think you're ready to get one and find one that works best for you. Will, do you have an update on reporting data?
Yep. Yeah, the retail sales came out weak, which is what we thought might happen. The retail sales for the month of December came out at 0.4% increase versus the estimated 0.6% increase, which was worse than the month of November at 0.7%. So it was bad. It was a miss. Granted, is it still going up? Yeah, it went up. But the month of December during the holiday times, you want to outperform November. It did not outperform November. So it's a sign of weakness in the economy, even though it's still an increase, but it's a sign of weakness. So things are selling off more a little bit right now as a result. I bet you see the stock market sell off a bit. Also, we saw initial jobless claims data came out as well. Initial jobless claims for the month of December this is weekly. Sorry, this is weekly. For last week came out at 217,000 versus the estimated 210,000. So worse by 7,000. This is worse from the previous week of 201,000. This should not be a surprise, seeing as how Los Angeles burned to the ground. So I would take that as, a stat that is very much so being affected by the wildfires in California.
Yeah, I think you're probably super right about that. And we'll see what effect it has in the market for sure. We had a really good question about, go ahead.
Really quick.
Yeah.
There's like multiple comments about this website, CoinCap, showing prices. CoinCap is nonsense.
I thought people were mistyping coin market
error. That's what I thought too.
It's not a display error. It's just a nonsense website. So don't worry about it. They're also saying that Solana is $6,000 and ETH is 35K and Polkadot is $220. Like, it's just nonsense. Don't worry about it.
And sometimes though, you might see a legitimate website like CoinMarketCap or CoinGecko have, a price that is different from the rest of the market. And usually this is like a lag in their API. Maybe they're congested. It's almost never a cause for concern. Though sometimes it has happened that people have been live trading and a market has like a blip like that and they're able to buy or sell an asset for like way cheaper or way more. They get a really good deal or a really bad deal, just kind of randomly.
Believe that exchanges do that on purpose just to get hype and headlines and make people freak out because it's really easy. Yes.
I feel like that would be super illegal.
Yeah, but prove it.
Prove it's illegal?
Evan, no. Prove that they
prove that we did it? I don't know, man.
How much illegal shit do you see every day in crypto?
A lot, but I feel like it's so risky for somebody like Coinbase.
I rest my case. Come on, Evan. We talk about conspiracy theories. Like you don't think that someone accidentally like spilling their coffee on the control board and accidentally like glitching the price up for half a second would just make people freak the hell out?
I do, but I think if it's a coordinated effort, that it would almost certainly be leaked or exposed. I think if Brian Armstrong was behind somebody in the control room, like do it. No, I think it would be exposed. I'm a conspiracy minimalist. I think humans are so bad at keeping secrets. Somebody would spill the beans.
Well, I think some of these organizations are so poorly built that a lot of it is just technical mistakes and data feed errors.
That is also very believable.
Yeah.
I don't know, man. Who knows?
Oh, also, I want to mention for hardware wallets, I wanted to add on to this. There are a ton of really good hardware wallets out there too. Ledgers are good. You have Tangent wallets now. You have Arculus wallets. You got a whole bunch of them. Go and take a look because a lot of them are different in terms of how you use them. I would say just make a choice based on like how you want to use and interact with the device, the size of it, how small it is. Maybe you got big fingers, small fingers. They're small devices, so it's based on usability. I like the Ledger.
And the difference between like a hardware device wallet and a wallet you might get in your app store or on a website, they can both be self-custody wallets, meaning only you hold the private key, the information that represents your access to the crypto. But your key is online. Like you're doing stuff on the internet with a hot wallet, and your key will touch the internet. So there's more surface area for an attacker to compromise you. It is secure if you use it well, but the most secure, like Alex said, is cold storage. I have a video on kind of a wallet strategy, ways to think about it, pinned to the top of my profile with a whiteboard that some people might find helpful.
Also, I saw a comment. Ray said, "Why does Ledger only hold 4 coins? So dumb." It holds a lot of coins, actually. It holds a ton.
Way more.
You just got to add them.
You just got to add them. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. It's like a phone. You can add apps, and then the more apps you add to it, the more stuff you can hold.
Yeah, exactly.
So you kind of set it up the way that you want to. Questions about hardware wallets coming into if you lose the device or it gets broken or whatever, but you know your passkey, your seed phrase, your keys, you can get a new device and re-upload it. I could.
Ooh. Also, do not buy a hardware wallet from Amazon or eBay.
Okay,
because those could what?
Hold on, just before we get Ledger. The last time I told that to Ledger was like, going through this was years ago, but there are authorized third-party retail sellers of hardware wallets.
So I wouldn't trust them.
I'm not saying you have to trust them. You can always just get it through, but it is technically misinformation to say that there are no authorized or licensed third-party retail sellers.
Yeah,
Best
probably the
Buy
most
is licensed to
Best
sell
Buy.
Ledger products. The Amazon Ledger store is licensed to sell Ledger products. And there's actually a couple of other smaller ones as well. And I will say, though, Will is 100% correct. All of the licensed retail sellers for Ledger are listed on Ledger's website. So you can check it there first. And then, of course, they come with anti-tamper seals and all that sort of stuff. If you're in any way sketched out when you buy one, then you should just
and just so you know, people are asking this question too. Your crypto doesn't live on your wallet. It doesn't physically exist. The only place the information that represents your cryptocurrency, because that's what it is, lives is on a ledger called a blockchain. And depending on the network, the way this ledger is maintained, it's different. But on Bitcoin, for example, there are many computers, we call them nodes, that run a copy of the Bitcoin protocol. It is the algorithm that miners are trying to use to bring more Bitcoin into existence, that people are using to submit and process transactions. It is like a record of truth that is not stored in any one place, but in many places. Kind of like a bank vault that exists in 10,000 places. This makes it more secure than one bank vault that one person can walk into and take the money out of. First of all, the money doesn't physically exist. Second of all, 10,000 bank vaults who can all talk to each other are watching for people to alter the information in ways that don't match the record of truth. It's very secure. That's where the information that represents your crypto lives. When you get a wallet, when I open my ledger, or when I create an account on MetaMask, or I sign up at Coinbase, either a key is generated for me, a unique private key, or maybe Coinbase has keys already generated and they just kind of hand them out and assign them to my username and password. It is the private key that the blockchain recognizes as a distinct account. And it's like walking up to the Wizard of Oz, private key 0xPQ569, whatever, is like, I'd like to buy Bitcoin. And the Wizard of Oz is like, great, I'll put it on the record after you give me some cash. You give it the cash, it adds it to the record. All the computers verify the work, and then it's on that record. And if you want to send Bitcoin in the future, from one of your wallets to Alex or something like that, another wallet, it doesn't transfer wallets. It is you going back to the Wizard of Oz, telling it you want it to make an update to the ledger. And then if everything checks out, it does. The information that represents your Bitcoin is reassigned to Alex or to your other wallet or whatever. That's how it works. So I hope that helps.
I just saw someone say that exchanges are the way to go unless you have more than 10 Bitcoin. That's insane.
What? That's a crazy thought.
That's
a crazy thought.
Was that a typo, or are you a billionaire?
Yeah,
I do know people who have 10 Bitcoin who keep them on exchanges and feel okay about it. But
well, hey, that's up to the individual,
Yeah.
I mean, like, if you have a lot of money and you are worried about, like, what if I do something wrong with this transaction, or like I don't trust myself to keep my seed phrase in a safe place, I'm going to keep it on the exchange. That was the best answer for you until the ETFs came out. I would just go get the ETF instead, personally.
Yeah.
Unless, of course, you're like, but I also want to have the option to be able to like run with my money if I need to go somewhere and pick up my life and move somewhere else. Then keep it on the exchange. And
if you're talking about just making the cost of the device worth it, these things are like $30 or $40 now.
Mm-hmm. I mean, I like that comment by Russ.
$5,
only use a bank if you have more than $10 million.
Otherwise, keep it in a jar on your counter.
Yeah, right. Put it in your
send it to me.
Keep it in your Venmo account. It earns interest there, I heard.
Yeah, and I didn't hear you say it explicitly this way, Alex, but I have heard you say before, and maybe I just missed it, that a good rule of thumb is when you have more tokens like $100 worth of tokens, if that's more than the cost of a cold storage device, it might be time to get a cold storage device. That should be your next purchase. And I think that's a good rule of thumb. Even if you don't use it, if you're serious about crypto, you should be serious about learning self-custody. It's one of the things that makes crypto totally innovative, totally different from anything we've ever had before in our world, physical or digital. And that kind of like true ownership, that's going to be a bigger part of our story on the internet in the future. It's why the TikTok ban sucks. I don't own my account. I don't own my relationship with my followers, but crypto tokens, blockchains, it's possible for users to own information that matters to them. It could be money, sure, but it could be my account. It could be my identity or information that represents my identity, like a social security number. All those things can be enhanced by cryptography, blockchains, private keys, etc. Well, if you've got a question, this is the place for it. We're here Monday through Thursday, 7 a.m. Central Standard Time. Bob asks, what ETF do you suggest? I didn't know which was best to invest in. That's a good question. I don't know that I have an answer.
I don't have the exact answer because there's two things you got to look at for that. The first of which are fees. And BlackRock doesn't have the cheapest fees, but they are cheap fees. The cheapest, I forget who it has, but it's not BlackRock. The other thing you want to look for is liquidity, because ETFs, the ones that survive, are the ones that have the most liquidity. And so you want to look for both those things. So find a pairing between that. BlackRock is cheap. It has the most liquidity though, but it's not the cheapest. So you got to do a little bit of shopping between those two different characteristics. The two largest liquidity ones though are BlackRock and Fidelity, for sure.
Interesting.
Good questions here coming through about some people who had difficulties with moving coins from exchanges to wallets and cold storage wallets. I really want you, this is such a hard question to answer on a live because we don't know what specific errors you're getting. We don't know like where you're trying to send them, and you're going to have a terrible time trying to communicate with us. So the best thing to do is to jump in the Rise Up Discord server. The links are on the screen in the text boxes. This is a place where you can have an actual conversation back and forth with us and a community of, what are we at, like 3,500 now? Learners at all levels of experience who have probably dealt with your specific problem before. We also have classes and coaching. Like if you can't get the help you need, which I doubt, for free, you can actually book time with us to just figure it out with you. That's our goal, is to help people learn about crypto, to become more safe, self-sufficient, confident users. So please do me a favor, jump in the Discord server, check out the tutorial that's pinned at the top of my TikTok profile if you need help, and we'll see you there. We can help you figure out what's going on and how to fix it. Will Bitcoin dump to 96,000? If so, what will happen to altcoins?
They will also dump. And then I think they rally. I mean, like if Bitcoin falls to 96,000, that's Reddit support, the 12-day and 21-day exponential moving average. That'd be totally fine and also perfectly healthy and still very bullish. Altcoins would fall further, and then I expect that they'll rally. The reason why Bitcoin could fall right now is there's a gap on the stock market chart that could get filled because we just got not great U.S. retail sales data combined with a not great jobless claims report, which is skewed because of the California wildfires. And so, yeah, we could have a little short-term red day in the stock market that could cause Bitcoin to go to 96K, but that'd be right at a perfect level of support for Bitcoin. And then I think things rally. That's how I think it plays out. If the market does open up bearishly at 9.
Well, according to the 8 Ball, if BTC drops to 96,000, cash out a bit. Not me, man. You couldn't catch me cashing out my Bitcoin.
No.
JJ, if you would like our thoughts on the ETH BTC pair, I would love to give them to you, but I have absolutely no context for that question. Do you want to know what it is? Do you want to know how it works? I see you said there's a double bottom. Tell me more so that I can answer this question for you, or Will or Alex can answer this question for you, because right now, brother, that's like an open-ended question. That's like, tell me about crypto.
Tell me why.
So help us help you, man. If you've got a question about anything particular, that's the thing we need. We need some context and details. What do you guys think about L2 Solutions like ARB and Polygon. It looks like there's lots of room for growth. I don't know about you, but I'm very bullish on L2s generally, but Base is the one that I think is the far and away horse to bet on.
Yeah.
I am bullish on the concept of L2s. Go ahead.
No. Go ahead.
No, you go.
Okay. I am bullish. No, you go. No, you go. No, you're pretty. I'm bullish on L2s because Ethereum desperately needs scalability and cheap fees and all that stuff. And Arbitrum's a great solution, and Optimism's is a great solution, and so on and so forth. Polygon's a great solution. But in terms of an investment, any of those could go up, but money is leaving those L2s and going into Base. So that's why I'm bullish on Base. That's not a token. There's no Base token, by the way, that you can invest in, but there are altcoins within Base you can invest in. And Base right now is eating everybody's lunch.
Yeah. Somebody asked, where would you start? I would go to DeFi Llama and start there and look at people who are capturing attention and TVL on Base. I think Arrow is the number one by TVL, but there are many. And as opposed to like some super niche microcap thing, but maybe you're into that. And I know people are launching AI agent tokens on Base. I'm pretty sure you can buy Anon on Base that Nathan, Decentralized Father, was telling us about. And it's just a good place to spend some time, maybe on the Warpcast app. Warpcast is like Twitter, but it's built on Farcaster, which is like tied into Base. So a lot of people there are founders, advisors, builders on the Base network. Our friend Mike is over there. Jesse Pollock is over there, and he's sort of the champion for Base over at Coinbase. Be a great place to go. Oh my God, I have to plug the show. What are you going to plug in?
While you do that, I have to plug in my Ethernet cable. I'll be right back.
Plug your Ethernet cable in. We've got a celebrity in the house. This is my dad, Martin Mann.
My dad can beat up your dad.
And I'm so glad he's here. Thanks for tuning in, Dad. Have I missed conversations about ISO 222 crypto? If not, can you talk about this sometime soon? Seems all ISO coins are pumping and everything else seems to be flat or in decline. Well, what can we say about that? First of all, thanks, Dad. I'm so glad you're here. And I tend to think of ISO tokens as sort of a nothing burger in the sense that the ISO news is overinflated and overblown, especially on the internet, especially by talking heads. Alex, I know you concur. Can you give some more color to that?
Yeah. Listen, so ISO 20022 is a messaging standard for rich data between financial institutions. It has nothing to do with crypto. And if you don't have to take my word for it, you can literally go on Twitter right now where engineers who work at Ripple are on record confirming that is exactly what ISO is. So I'm not fudding, I'm just telling you what it means. The thing, how it relates to crypto, is that some companies who are crypto projects, who are the ones that you know as ISO compliant, have built their companies in such a way that they use that standard for communications and for messaging, so that if they can ever convince a bank to use them, it's a little bit easier. It doesn't mean anything other than they built with that future idea in mind. It doesn't guarantee them that they're going to be used. It just
in no way, shape, or form.
No.
Yeah, and those are not the tokens that were mentioned in the ISO report, which is a thing that came out a couple years ago, are not the only tokens that meet that messaging standard for compliance. Correct. It's kind of become a marketing thing that has taken on a life of its own. So on one hand, you could pay attention to those tokens because a lot of people misunderstand the information and will speculate on it.
Yeah, they belong to a little club, and it's one of those things that we say all the time, right?
It's a loud club.
Garbage pumps and good stuff dumps all the time. Like, immediate short-term price action in cryptocurrency doesn't mean anything as far as like the quality of the project or its longevity or whatever.
Correct.
So it's totally reasonable, in my opinion, to take a gamble on ISO projects just because that thing exists, because there are so many people who don't know what ISO is and just believe that they're all going to be adopted by all of these banks anyway, which means that they are likely to, when ISO trends again, those things can go. But look at the weekly board right now. Sure, the ISO stuff is up because there is hot new gossip that touches that niche floating around right now, right? Like you've got all these different things that we've kind of been talking about: incoming administration, friendlier Congress, all these sort of things, and anything that's like looked at as being more banky and more corporation-y and more institutionally, friendly or whatever, just sort of gets to pump by proxy because that's what's sexy right now.
LCX.
Yeah.
Yep. So
I would say too that a lot of these tokens, like you mentioned before, Alex, are at or near an all-time high in terms of market cap, especially. And that is one of the riskiest times to buy a token. This is a really risky time in the market right now. If you're considering opening a position, you're probably going to be, there's a higher likelihood that you're going to be somebody who buys something really expensive, it goes down, you miss selling the top, and then you got to hold on to it for 4 more years before you can have a chance to realize a profit, or you're going to have to cut your losses because the company goes away. I don't think Ripple's going anywhere. XRP is probably not going anywhere in the next 4 years, but there are some crypto tokens and crypto investors who will take those gambles and lose that money. So thanks, Dad.
Yeah.
You're very welcome for answering the question.
And just remember too, because I just saw the comment again, there is absolutely nothing that says that you're not going to have to pay taxes on these things. That has been floated as like a vague platitude. It would be nice, but right now I would say that it is irresponsible to plan on that happening. So don't like carry.
Also, again, if a law passes that says crypto taxes in the U.S. go away, that will not be in effect until 2026.
Yeah, you still have all of this year.
All of this year, you'll be paying taxes even if it passes. Which
plus, we literally
I honestly hope it doesn't.
For last year yet. So
yeah, I really hope tax-free trading on crypto does not pass.
Yeah.
I think it would be a horrific disaster for our financial system.
I really think that
very strange. Yeah, it's a much deeper topic than just I don't like taxes, so I don't want to pay them. Like I know that it's, taxes are a hot button issue.
Taxes are voluntary? No. However, here's the thing. Everyone hates taxes.
Sure, you can volunteer to go to prison for not doing it.
Yes, you can. There are just consequences.
Yeah.
You will lose all your shit and go to jail.
Details.
Everyone always rags on taxes, but there's so many ways to reduce your taxes. The tax code in the United States is an incentive system to make you spend your money in the ways the government wants you to spend it. There are avenues for you to get the things that you want and greatly reduce your taxes. You should really take some time, get a couple books. I've read a few books. I can't think of them off the top of my head. That would be a good video at some point that really kind of break down the tax code each year and can help you understand how to spend your money to reduce your taxes, because the government wants to reward you for spending money in the way that they want you to spend money, which are typically ways that help to improve GDP and economic growth. That's why you get a tax cut if you bought a home. That's why you get a tax cut for holding on to investments long-term for long-term growth of the financial markets as opposed to just short-term speculation. There's a whole bunch of stuff. Spending money on businesses, small business expenses, right? Increases the job market strength, increases spending.
Paying people's salaries.
Okay, yeah, exactly. Yeah, there's a bunch of stuff you can do to lower your taxes. The tax system isn't something to just hate at. The tax system is something to learn because it's incentivizing you to spend your money in certain ways so you don't pay taxes.
I can
stop. Go ahead.
I was just going to say I'm actually meeting with Lorenzo today, so I can ask him about stealing him for a morning or an evening.
Ooh, that'd be cool.
On the show at some
We'd
point.
Love it. Alex, who is Lorenzo for people who are
Lorenzo is my tax guy, and he's very smart, and he could definitely give some tips on tax optimization and strategy.
I got to find that picture of him riding away on his Vespa.
You're only required if you sign up with the IRS. Most people don't read what they're saying. I'm assuming you're only required, that person's saying they're only required to pay taxes if you sign up with the IRS. No, everyone who makes money is required to pay taxes.
Will, you know what? Okay, you know what? Good luck.
Godspeed. Good luck.
I'm praying for you.
Yeah.
Stop Jew Supremacy said here, tax avoidance is a crime, or excuse me, tax. What did they say? But the tax evasion is a crime, but tax avoidance is an American pastime. To which I say yes. And we were talking about trusts the other day. We've talked a couple times about trusts. If you want to figure out ways to optimize your tax strategy, probably the best recommendation I could give you as a guy who really doesn't know much about this would be consider getting a trust. and learning how to use
Yep.
it well to defer taxes.
Ooh, also, this is a funny indirect plug, but it's something I'll be doing this year because I'm going to pay so much in taxes this year because I didn't do enough last year from a tax loss harvesting standpoint or other things. I'm going to be paying 6 figures in taxes. But this year, because my brother is making a big movie, I'm going to take what I will owe in taxes and just give it to my brother's movie making company, and all of it gets written off. So instead of going to the government, I just give it to my brother's movie making company, and
Nice.
it's all a write-off and it stays within the family.
Well,
Granted, I can then make money off of that and I could then pay taxes on that, but still.
when you guys really need to get rid of some tax obligation, then let me know, because I have a nonprofit you can donate to.
Oh, that
Yeah.
is also true. Yeah. We'll talk more about that as this year's trading continues to go by.
Perfect.
So it's 8 o'clock, which means we're about 3/4 of the way through the show. Could be our last stream on TikTok, which means if you haven't already, you definitely should join the Rise Up Discord server if you're watching on TikTok. And whether you're on Facebook, LinkedIn, Twitter, or YouTube, we would love for you to check out the link in the text box and join the Rise Up Discord server. If you're new to Discord or it feels overwhelming, I get it. Alex and I took the time to make a guided video walkthrough of our server to teach you how it works, and we have lots of other resources there. The reason we want you there is because it's free and it's full of people who are learning crypto. The fastest way to learn crypto to avoid losing time or money is to get in a room of people. It doesn't have to be our community, but a group chat of people who are learning like you, especially people who know a little more than you or have been here a little longer, who can just help you recognize scams, give you a second opinion on things, troubleshoot a question for you if your wallet isn't working or you don't know how to sell or buy or swap this token. And we would love for you to hang out with us. It's really the best community. All that's missing is you. And they're our only accounts. We are never going to reach out to you from a side account, a second account, and especially we're not going to DM you first with any kind of, hey, how you doing? How's your trading going? Would you like to see an opportunity? I didn't want to talk about this public. No. Those are always scams. No creator you follow will ever reach out to you first. Just block them. And watch out for them because they're everywhere. I'm so sorry about it, but these are our only accounts. You should definitely give them a follow if you want to stay in touch with us. We'd love that. What am I missing in the chat? Good stuff.
One person did ask a question about what do I need to know about the MACD?
The MACD.
The MACD. Other than
Mac
saying,
Daddy.
other than it's really fun to say MACD. It's indicator on the chart. It's a measurement of momentum. Most of the indicators I use are momentum indicators. It's what I like. But essentially, let me see. I can pull it up on my screen, quickly show it to you. Actually, let's do it here.
Really quick, while Will is pulling that up, someone just asked if I was
you.
going to be attending Soulface's tax class. I would rather get hit by a bus than take tax advice from Soulface. And for anyone
Who is
curious,
Soulface?
he's one of Sage's little posse of grifters.
Oh, God. Oh, no.
His only contribution to the internet is basically like screaming at people to buy Sage's scams. So I think it would be a real struggle for me to sit down and tell you someone who would be worse to learn tax strategy from than that asshat.
That's rough. No, but we are going to have several classes. This is, I think I'm wrestling with a flu, and I've been trying to find the best platform to host these, but I have a fresh round of classes that we are hosting for you in our community, including one on taxes. I'm gonna walk folks through doing crypto taxes with Coinly, setting it up, how it works, so that you can get a little insight. And we definitely will have one of our CPA friends like Lorenzo or maybe Angel back on the show.
Yeah, we should have Lorenzo come on.
Some actual answers to your tax questions. So stay tuned though for those live classes, because Will is also going to be doing a TA class. And until that comes out later this month, you can also check out our website, theriseupmorningshow.com, because he's published a wonderful guide about the indicators that he uses if you want to be trained in the art and craft of reading crypto charts.
Correct.
Go ahead, Will.
Can you share my screen, Evan?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Let me do this.
Will, do you not have the option to just click add and remove?
What do you mean
Well,
by
I don't think he's logged in. He's not logged in on our account. We'll talk about it offline. Well, you gotta log into StreamYard, man, because then I won't have to send you the link and then you'll have the screen share.
I've been able to log into it before because I added my Instagram and stuff to it before, even though that's a pain in the ass and doesn't really work. But regardless,
No, I will help you.
So we're talking about the MACD, right? The MACD is this portion here on the bottom, this red and green. It's a measurement of momentum. So if we go and let's take this as an example here, right? So you have this rounding over of momentum, right? And you saw we started to top out in this general zone. We had a little bit of a fake out here, but then once this started really rounding over, you could see that price, Galaxy, you could see that price started moving upwards. And then once it had this bullish flip, you know, price really started to kind of go. Then you saw MACD, we were starting to lose momentum, right? This is a sign, hey, we're losing momentum. MACD is coming down. At the same time, price is holding steady, but you can see momentum is being lost here and that bears are gaining control. So you could have sold here, and this is the monthly chart for Bitcoin, right? So you could have sold here, been patient, been patient, been patient, been patient, and then you saw the bearish momentum start to flatline right here, right? The curve upwards started to flatline. You're like, cool, we're losing bearish momentum. This could be a time to buy. Cool, bullish momentum's going up. It's going up. It's going up. We're starting to lose some momentum here as well, and that's how things could work out. Actually, this was a really bad chart to use because I just realized it's the Bitcoin dominance chart, not price. Horrible chart for me to use, actually.
I was like, wait a second, that price doesn't seem quite right.
I was like, this isn't working perfectly. I was like, wait a second. Damn, I screwed myself. All right, let's try this again.
We were still, the visual was still really helpful.
How embarrassing. I mean, like the gist of it there is still right, but bad example to use. And now that I have refreshed my chart, here we go. Let's get rid of this. Ugh, I have to do this all over again.
Look at that. He's even got a little Trump's first day indicator, that orange line there. How cute.
Yep. Here we go. Here's price, right? We'll just use the bearish example here. So again, we can see that right here, the bearish momentum started to flatline, and then we started to gain momentum here, and this would have been a sign like, hey, we're starting to flatline here. Maybe we sell our Bitcoin, right? This was that period where Bitcoin was chilling from March until August. And then you could have seen, hey, we're flatlining again right here. Maybe I want to get back in. Now, MACD isn't perfect, right? I use it in conjunction with other indicators because, again, you may not have bought here because you're like, oh, it's not red. You would have missed this pump. Other indicators would have been screaming at you like stochastic RSI and RSI and other things to buy, right? It's not something to use in and of itself, but it is a really good tool to give you additional data as to when to buy or sell. So don't use any indicator alone, right? You're not going to do well. You got to use them together.
How do you need to use different settings for different time periods? I think what they mean is different indicators, like not just can you adjust the chart to show 1 day or 1 month or something like that, but do you use different indicators, whether you're looking at, you know, a day or a month or something like that?
I really only use the relative strength index for the daily or the, oh, what's happening with my computer? The daily or the monthly chart. Haha!
Damn, rugged me.
Rugged him. You know, but like I use the stochastic RSI and the MACD on every time frame. So, I mean, the answer to that is, you know, no, it doesn't matter. And then the only other extra data points I really want to see is from like a macro trend standpoint. Are we near top or near bottom? I like to use the relative strength index for that on the monthly, and then also the daily timeframes if I'm looking for like a macro trend or like a short-term bottom. The relative strength index is just like a very simple, clear signal indicator that is good for longer-term trends.
This person meant for the MACD specifically. There are individual settings. Is there one?
Oh, I don't change any settings to the MACD.
And this is on TradingView, right?
Yeah, this is on TradingView. I don't change any of the settings.
TradingView.com. Okay, so what are we missing in the comments? I was busy sharing the screen. Alex, I know you're on top of it.
For what?
I see that. Oh, just generally speaking, what's the sentiment in the chat? Do people have a good question? Are you arguing with anybody? Do I need to step in? That kind of thing.
No, someone was like, why do you guys only talk about XRP? And I'm like, brother, what?
That has to be sarcastic.
Oh, man. Sorry. Too much XRP.
H-bar did flip Sui. That is true.
Sui.
Wow. Bullish for Sui, if I'm honest. Tech CEO has said we need a mug count. If you didn't know, one of the ways you can support the show is by buying a Rise Up Morning Show mug. We are going to discontinue this mug soon and do a new mug with the new logo. There were only going to be 100 of these, and we've only sold about 30, 35. So you can have a one of, depending on how many people buy it, like 40 mug. I would love to send tokens. I have everyone's email, so I'd love to send tokens representing your one of whatever mug. It's like $16. Our friendly troll J Pill always said, I hope I get rich this boron so I can pay shipping for the Rise Up Morning Show mug. But it is the official mug of the official morning show of the Financial Revolution, and it does support us if you feel so inclined. Textio is the very best salesman of the mug. You can buy it in my TikTok profile or just at theriseuppmorningshow.com, but you really
own a mug and it changed my life.
I own a mug and it
changed my life for the better.
Let me tell you
dishwasher safe?
It's dishwasher safe. The art is fire. So like for a fraction of the price of those NFTs you bought in 2021, you can support the show and arguably get a better piece of art. No shade.
Will it get me more views? Yes.
Will it get you more views? And it will make you look better.
Make you taller.
I was a 2.
It'll make you taller, yeah.
And 5 foot something before I started drinking out of this mug, and now I'm like an 8 on a good day, and I'm 6'3". What more do you need, my friends?
It's also guaranteed to give you an extra 0.25% on your investment.
Thanks, Cosmic, for the Cowboys.
Now the SEC is interested in the mug.
No, damn
Hesper
it. Well,
Purse is like,
luckily we're getting a new mug.
Gary has entered the chat.
Yeah, Gary has
Makes you taller if you stand on it. No,
yeah, do not attempt. Safe in the dishwasher, not under your feet. I do want to remind folks that we had a great episode of Rise Up After Dark that we did yesterday that you can catch the recording of, where we interviewed Finn Totten, marketing lead at Abstract, abs.xyz. You may be familiar with them because you heard about the Pudgy Penguins. Abstract is a blockchain that is not Finn is trying to distinguish from the Pudgy Penguins, but Igloo, their parent company, they launched the Pudgy Penguins, and now they're building through another partner, Abstract. Excuse me, a consumer-centric blockchain that's got some killer apps he told us all about. It was a great conversation. I would definitely check it out if you want to see what it looks like to build for consumers. In the same conversation as somebody like Base on Coinbase, it was great. And we have all of our episodes recorded on our YouTube channel. If you missed one, you want to go back and watch one because you want to glean some insights, we would be glad for you to check those out, as well as our tutorials on things like Token Sniffer or how to do your own crypto research. Those are there for you to find too. And we'll be making more soon. I know, Alex, you want to make a DeFi one. So
yes,
watch for it.
So I've seen this. It happens every time. I'm not picking on anybody, maybe a little bit. The question, should you buy crypto today? Someone actually just asked, should you buy it today or wait for a dip? So I'm like, okay, let's think about what that question actually means. You're asking me if you should buy it now or if you should buy it lower. Lower, right? Right? Okay, I'm not crazy.
We die on this.
No, I don't think you're crazy. I think this is the riskiest time to buy crypto.
Think about it.
Except for Bitcoin.
I wouldn't say that, but go ahead.
Maybe, okay, it could be worse. It could always be worse. The thing is, though, if you pop out of the woodwork on the day that everyone else is taking profits and you look to buy, you are who they are taking profit with.
Yeah, you are providing their paycheck.
You're paying them. You're paying them for being early. That's what you're doing if you're buying it right now. Could it go higher? Yes.
Sure.
It could. Could it go down? Also, yes, it could. As the prices go up, so does the risk if you are entering at higher prices. If you buy XRP today, you're buying it at a market cap all-time high, which means that it's in price discovery, which means it's the riskiest time to buy it. So just think about it that way before you ape into something on a day that everything is up and lots of other people are asking, hey, should I be taking profits? If everyone is asking, should I take profits today? And you're asking, should I be buying their profits? Right, like this is it. And like Exit Liquidity says, it's fair. It is fair to say it could be worth way more someday in the future. That's true. But because I've actually never spoken to someone who genuinely means it when they say that they're looking at it for the long term, my thinking and my experience with answering that question for people is that when it dumps 15% tomorrow, they're going to freak out and sell it at a loss. If you're not mentally prepared to stomach volatility to the downside in the short term, then no, you shouldn't.
I want to talk more about profit taking and how people can think about selling or buying. But
Sure.
Will, I saw one, a gleeful look on your face, and two, I'm curious what you would say because you were like, oh, I wouldn't say this is the riskiest time to buy. I'm curious what you would say in response to that. And then I need to know what is behind the glee on your face.
Yeah. And
Do we have you?
yeah, sorry, I'm getting rugged a little bit with my audio.
You're good.
Oh, no, we got you.
Okay. No, I was on Cointelegraph and it was messing up my Wi-Fi for some reason. It was like too much. It was my bandwidth was too not ready for one more window to be open on my computer. But yeah, so I would say like now isn't necessarily the worst time to be buying crypto, but maybe not the one that just did 30% today, you know?
Mhm.
But there are plenty of cryptocurrencies out here who are really good, fundamentally strong, that haven't really pumped yet, that are gearing up for a bullish breakout of consolidation patterns. Ethereum's one, just I think at the top of mind. And there is like some coins that did 30% yesterday, but were down 9% today, you know, because they're taking a little correction, right? If you think that we're still going to pump because of Trump, and then Trump's going to make a strategic Bitcoin reserve day one or maybe day two, and that's going to pump the markets, you know, Bitcoin to 116, you know, buying right now into some coins that haven't done 30% today or did yesterday, but are down 10% right now, could actually be a good time to start buying. There are a lot of coins that haven't gotten back up to the highs that they had just, you know, 2 weeks ago or so. So it's not necessarily a bad time to buy, just buying the coin that just went up by 30%. Does that make sense? No. I understand the feeling because you feel like you messed out and you want to dive in late, but that's how you get turned into exit liquidity. So not necessarily a bad time to buy. You just got to find the right buying opportunity for those coins, you know?
Because then
if you have conviction that things are good.
Not only will you have missed the pump, you will lose your money.
Yes.
But yeah, no, I mean, to that point, look at the differences. If you just go to CoinGecko and, you know, you can sort by percentage up or down on the week, Ethereum is up 1% this week compared to something like Algorand, which is up 40% this week. Very different. Very different.
Very different. And there are a lot of opportunities out there for really solid coins and projects you can find right now. Right this very moment. There are a lot of them.
Yep.
The other thing that made me gleeful is some good news for Coinbase. Some good news for Morpho indirectly.
Oh,
Coinbase
snap.
has announced that they are offering Bitcoin-backed loans as a new product offering, which is cool because also that's something I've wanted to do for years, and I've been waiting for a trusted partner to be able to do it, where I can get a loan and use my Bitcoin as collateral, and they're doing it through Morpho's platform.
Wow, that's honestly, that's huge, dude.
That's
huge.
Yeah.
Whoa.
So that's going to be big for Coinbase, and that's going to be big for Morpho. So
wow, Bitcoin-backed loans. Damn.
Also, it's crazy the amount of tweets that have come out of Binance where they have announced like, "Hey, these rewards are being given out," and then underneath it's like provided by Morpho. I'm like, "Hey, list them already on the exchange, you bastards."
Dang, man.
You know you're going to. Just do it now.
Yeah, they're just teasing us. I think they're waiting for an optimal time. Well,
they're waiting for when the market is frothy and they'll make the most money.
Yeah, that's right. They are.
Coinbase is going to do the same thing too.
They're well rehearsed in this game.
Yeah, and Coinbase and Binance have probably had a phone call between each other about how they're going to release a schedule of listing Morpho.
Absolutely.
And for those asking, I would imagine that a similar scenario is likely for something like Arrow as well. I mean, TVL wise, they're the biggest base DeFi protocol. They're making revenue. They've got volume. It's the same thing.
Real quick, I'd like to address this question. What do you think about PiCoin? PiCoin is absolutely a scam.
It is.
Andy, don't spend any more time on that. Be skeptical of anything that allows you to mine from your phone, and especially cryptocurrency tokens that aren't liquid, which means you can't trade them for cash on an open market. The great thing about Bitcoin, or even about XRP or Sand or Mana token, you name it, is that lots of exchanges have markets where people are buying and selling them, providing liquidity through smart contracts. You can go sell those things for dollars almost anytime. You can't do that with Pi token. And they keep just kind of stringing people along. So until they prove otherwise, it's not a good use of your time.
but even think about it this way, because there's the speculation, the news around like them coming to mainnet or launching mainnet, but the same kind of line of thinking that I had about DeSci projects. This is also, for the record, what ended up killing Helium as an investment. If you build an ecosystem wherein the only thing anybody can do with your token is buy it so that they hopefully can sell it for more one day, but there's nothing else that would cause someone to buy it, at some point, everyone's going to do the Spider-Man meme and look at each other and be like, wait a second. Why are you here? You're gambling. We're gambling. We're all gambling. Fuck this. And they'll go somewhere else. And then the price will collapse and no one on earth will ever want to buy it again. That's pie. Okay, they're going to launch mainnet, and unless there is a bunch of shit that launches with it, like stuff to do, all these apps, like things, builders coming to launch things, grant programs, all of this stuff to do with these tokens, the only thing anyone's going to do on mainnet is sell all the crap they've been collecting for no reason except to gamble. So you're launching something with exclusively sell pressure, which means it's going to crater. So I would not spend money. I would not spend money there.
Everybody, welcome.
Funny, I was just thinking about
that
you,
was your
Doug.
ending.
You just entered my mind.
Alex, I rugged you with Doug's intro. I thought that was the perfectly timed. Finish your thought. You made a pause. You cannot make that penultimate pause, my friend. You got to hit me with it.
You know, Evan, you as an actor should understand the impact of a dramatic pause for effect.
I do.
Fair. A very personal burn.
Okay, take two. End your speech, and then we'll kick it over to Doug.
Well, now you stole my thunder.
Don't come for me.
Also, I forgot. The point is, don't waste your money. What's up, Doug? I also was just thinking about Doug.
How we doing?
I took a shower this morning, and when I'm in the shower, sometimes I think about, hey, look at that. I wonder.
Wow,
if Doug
that is a wild comment without any context.
Interesting. Got it.
That is exactly.
Alex, just let you know, if TikTok doesn't get banned, so thanks for having me up here, guys. So I figure come at least maybe the last time on the show, but if I'm not, the amount of XRP folks coming to my stream, I'm just gonna send them all over to you, Alex, because they're asking, what do you think about XRP? I'm like, go ask Alex. He has.
So you did it.
Well, I'm glad you're funneling to Alex, not me.
You did this to me.
Yes.
Is what I'm hearing.
But no, so real quick, guys, good morning. Good morning.
Good morning, Doug.
The questions on like right now, everyone getting excited because I see there's a nice number on the stream here in mine too. I think right now the retail explosion's kind of happening again very quickly. And for me is thinking about how I would look to enter a position now on any alt, let's say, and we'll take Aerodrome.
Yeah.
The easiest way to look at it, for me, my current assumption is that the lows are in from what this, like for the moment. So if you go to a chart, an arrow, I think it's like the lows from Monday. So go to any chart, alt, look for where the low was on Monday. And I think the low on arrow is like 88 cents off the top of my head. And the current price, $1.20. I don't know what it is. I'm not from my PC. Anywhere between 120, 120 and 88, like any pullbacks, dips are for buying. If you are interested in getting into it, that's the best way to go about it, because if it goes below those lows, then I'm saying it's over, but it's not going to be the kind of upside that we're going to likely get in the coming days. And like, there's no reason to overcomplicate it. Don't use leverage. Use low. If you're going to do it, super low, like less than 3%, 3x. And because you can always add more, you can always scale up. But right now, your only goal is to be in a position for when this upside happens. And I would say too, for the questions on like, well, hey, do I want to enter something now if it's pumping? If you feel like you need to be in it, like you have to be in it. Let's say you have $100, just buy $30 of it. But you're in your mind though, you're telling yourself you want it to go lower. Like you're rooting for it to go lower so you can buy more lower. And if it sends, hey, as long as you have some exposure, take the other $70 and put it somewhere else. But it's like really managing emotions right now, and don't overcomplicate anything, and don't spread yourself too thin. And just at this point, kind of just be there for the ride when and if it happens, but seems like it's going to. And then I'll say my thoughts on taking profits, but I just did a quick rant. But that's kind of how I'm looking at things right now, is make it very easy and don't overcomplicate things.
Man,
Doug, what are your thoughts on the weak U.S. retail sales data?
So with CPI and PPI in general, it's almost like the market doesn't care as much about economic data for the moment. And like, to me, like retail data, is the most important. I think most folks discount it just because the U.S. economy is based on people buying stuff. I anticipate it starting to become lower and lower as we kind of go into the year in general, because people are because they're not spending as much. That I think is almost like a leading indicator of a correction. When that may be, 2 weeks from now, months from now, I don't know. But I think that's just kind of just one of the things that I will definitely keep an eye on without a doubt. And also to the retailers themselves, because I think we're entering earnings season now. So we keep an eye on, especially like kind of your Lowe's, your Home Depots, the Walmarts, the bigger ones, of what their commentary is on their buyers or their customers. And that will give you kind of the tone of kind of where start expecting a possible correction. But as of right now, there's less signs for me not to be bullish than to be bullish. Wait, yeah. Did I say that right?
Yeah. I looked at it as inflation was the data that everyone was really looking at, and retail sales coming in a little weaker. Yeah, not great, but we're really concerned about the inflation. So, if we can get a handle on that, retail sales will come back.
Yep.
Somebody asked, who's Doug? Very impressive. You want to give yourself an intro, Doug, for people who don't know who you are?
I'm a guy. I'm data management, data governance, analytics. I'm a builder, whatever you want. I'm a cranky individual from the enterprise space, although it pays my health insurance right now. I do love my job. I'm fortunate. I do market research for. I
love my markets. Job. Unfortunate.
yeah. But I love Web3, so that's why I'm here. Like this is the future. So I'm just been in crypto for 5 years now. Been a trader for four and a half. I like staring at screens. I like looking for patterns and understanding the manipulation of markets, and just trying to position myself to be best educated to make smart investment decisions to make some money. At the same time, also innovate at the same time and meet folks like you guys here. So that's me.
Excellent. Thank you very much. We appreciate it. And it could be the last time we end up talking to each other on TikTok. So shoot. It's been
maybe
real,
not, because maybe softly we're fine, because maybe it's okay thanks to 3 people close to Biden.
Fingers are crossed.
Fingers are
crossed. A lot of maybes.
A lot of maybes.
I think there's like a 99% chance it stays.
I think
Polymarket
odds are stronger that it stays. Yeah, what is Polymarket?
Listen, I was calling it last week after the Supreme Court hearing. Polymarket odds shifted from like 50% band down to 30%. So
I thought I remember them still being pretty high.
Well, I don't know how they.
Meanwhile, Alex is like, "Why do you guys care about Polymarket?"
I'm telling you, man, Polymarket is killer. Prediction markets are the way.
Okay.
It's still at a 62% chance that it is banned in the U.S. before May.
Wow. There are several betting markets though. Like, will Supreme Court delay the TikTok ban? Is that the one that you're looking at?
I'm looking at TikTok banned in the U.S. before May of 2025.
Yeah, here we go. Will Supreme Court delay the TikTok ban? Survey says
probably like 60%. What's the gut? I have no idea.
Yes, 25% chance. Oh, it's super volatile right now. It's been ranging below 30 for the last 2 days, and it hasn't gone above 40 since the date of the hearing. So they're pretty bullish on TikTok staying, it looks like.
I'll end on this. I'll let you guys go. Is that with TikTok? Like I made a quick video. I usually don't make videos like that. I don't make videos at all, actually. One yesterday was that, like, there's 170 million people who agree upon one thing. Like, we actually all agree upon we like this app. We don't agree upon anything else in general. 156 million people voted in the election in November. So, like, ultimately, like, oh, go to this app, go to that app. I'm like, hey, what we should do is pick a date, a couple weeks out. If we can't log on to this app, well, then let's all go meet each other at DC and say hello, because that would, theory would united. Hey, regardless of your political ideologies, religious, doesn't matter. We're like, we are just, hey, we like TikTok. That's it. Like, that's it. Like, I don't know. It just seems like it's something that would, for once, we all agree on, and it just sucks. So I don't think it's going away, because I think that would open up a lot of noise for new administration. Just is not worth that noise. So I don't know.
I just have the conflicting thought in my head is that you're unequivocally right, Doug. Right? Like, it's you can't say that that's wrong at all. I mean, in the last how many years? It's estimated that 7 million American small businesses have launched and are actively 7 million small businesses are actively using TikTok as their platform. And you're gutting most of those businesses by taking it away. It's nightmarishly bad for the American GDP to get rid of this platform.
That's even more compelling than to not do it. Yeah.
Of US GDP comes $30 billion out of the US GDP every year comes from this platform. It's estimated that overnight banning it will put 200,000 people out of work immediately. And then the bleed, and so economically, it's a disaster. And one thing that, if we keep it or not, the reason that it's being talked about on the floor, the reason that a bill was introduced that Tom Twatton decided to shoot down was because of all of the people who spoke up and said something about keeping it. So it does matter. It definitely matters. I just don't have an overabundance of faith in the US government to act in the best interest of all of us, but the economic impact and ripple effect, I think, would be something that could stay it, because their bluff was called.
Facts.
They never wanted to get rid of it. They just wanted to own it because it's too profitable.
Yeah.
Yep.
Well, Doug,
we'll see you guys on Monday then. We'll see you on Monday.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah,
but just in case,
Monday.
give us a last thought, question, suggestion, good joke, word of wisdom for the folks.
I will say this: I'm not usually one to shill, but I'm very excited. We actually tomorrow is our first tea time, or it's our Twitter space tomorrow. Tea time at 8 a.m. is the current time we're thinking, which is right at the time you guys start usually, right? We're not on Friday, so it's a good slot there for us. And my goal with tea time under 99 cents is I want to do very similar content. I want to focus on projects that are kind of in my wheelhouse, which are just more data visualization, trading, I'm looking for the creative innovators who are doing things differently than just everyone else. If there's 1,000 AI agents, I want the 10 who are looking at things differently and have them come on and interview them and just ask questions. So tomorrow at 8 a.m., we're doing first tea time ever, because it's the most obvious name for a show, and there actually isn't one on Twitter. I haven't found one that's kind of effective. So yeah, let's have some tea. Spill some tea as well. So yeah.
And does it have its own handle, or is it under 99 cents? What's the best way for people to find it?
Great questions. I actually was speaking in an real life marketing firm yesterday, because my whole compelling pitch for 99 cents is that my target market from a marketing standpoint isn't anyone in crypto. It's externally, just the ones who aren't in crypto yet. And I'm looking for help on the storytelling, the whole aspect of all of that coming together. Because right now it's myself and a couple others trying to make this thing happen. But to your question, Evan, not yet. There will be, and actually we're doing bounties for artwork. I'm trying to basically put the community to work and kind of using, I forget the site it was, Superverse or not Superverse. It's Earn on Solana, whatever it is, but creating bounties to basically have people get paid for contributing artwork and trying to find ways to help this brand grow. So not yet, but it will have its own Twitter account at some point.
And that's 8 a.m. EST? Eastern?
Correct. Yep. And it's under the 99 cents.
What's the handle? 99 cents underscore?
At 99 cents underscore.
Oh, it's 3? I thought it was 2. Okay.
Maybe it's 2.
You'll be able to find him if you search on Twitter, and if you can't find it, you can let us know in the Discord and we'll connect you. That sounds great, Doug. I'm going to try and come by.
Yep. And on my profile, my bio and TikTok for the moment has my Twitter link on it, and my Twitter link as in my bio there. It's a lot of steps, is the 99 cents account. So anyway, but appreciate you guys, appreciate what you do. And I will hope to see you on Monday.
Sounds good, man. Bye for now, Doug.
See you on Monday, dude.
Yes, have a good one. Take care.
Well, friends, it's that time. Last minute questions, suggestions, good jokes, words of wisdom as we go around and do a round of our own. It could very well be
potentially say our final goodbye on TikTok.
Very potentially say our final goodbyes.
Gross.
So make it good and make it count. For the folks in the comments who are asking last minute questions, a lot of these questions like, should I buy XRP right now? What will Bitcoin do? They've been answered earlier in the episode, and I would love for you to go check out the replay on youtube.com/facelesslabs. The link is on the screen. And I would love for you, in case we don't see each other here on TikTok again, to check us out on one of these other platforms. Hi to all our friends on YouTube, on Twitter, on LinkedIn, Facebook. We're so excited that you're here. And we would love for all of you to join the Discord, discord.gg/riseup. We are never going to reach out and DM you first. We don't have alternate social accounts. All our official links can be found there and at the riseupmorningshow.com. But the Discord is the best place.
And you can buy the mug at the riseupmorningshow.com.
And you can buy the mug at the riseupmorningshow.com. Shout out to Tech CEO. Another great show on TikTok that we might be losing, his Tuesday to Thursday night game shows where audience gets to play and get paid. It's a lot of fun, and I'm really going to miss it if it goes. So, guys, do you want to give a A final thought?
I just love to see the end of that joke. An actor, a vet, and a model walk into a bar. I want to know the end of that joke. Final thoughts. All I have to say is I love you guys. Making this community, if this is actually a goodbye to the TikTok community, it's been, I've been making content since 2020. Really didn't start getting big till 2023. Because of TikTok, I met these two dudes. Alex found me, and now I have 2 additional friends, which is cool. And it's been great to actually be able to kind of grow my reach and connect with a bunch of people. And I wanted to make content to help some people avoid making some mistakes, and I feel like I have done that. And I feel like I've motivated some people to learn a little bit more about how to research cryptos and what is this technical analysis stuff, and macroeconomics affects markets, and things that a lot of people don't really learn at school unless you're in economics or finance. So I feel if this is the end of TikTok and building my 60,000 followers, some people will be like, I wasted my time. I'll feel like I didn't waste my time because I helped some folk, and I'll keep trying to help people on other platforms. It just might take quite some time to get back up to that point, but it's been a lot of fun, and I feel, blessed and honored to have been able to do this. So if this is goodbye on TikTok, goodbye, and thank you for all the fish.
Well said.
Can we get a dolphin sound in case this is the end? Dolphins in the chat, man. What about you, Al?
No, it was well said, and obviously I'm hoping that we see you guys bright and early Monday morning in all of the same places. If not, we will, like Will said, we'll still be here. I am trying very hard to focus on everything that we've been able to do through this up until now, regardless of what happens this weekend. I feel optimistic that we'll at least still be here Monday. I don't think the battle will be over, but I'm hopeful, or at least I'm trying to be, because otherwise
I am also
depressed about it.
Yeah,
I am too. But it's a good moment to reflect.
No, it is for sure. I've been thinking about that as Evan and I close in on. I mean, when we put all of the 3 of us together and we made our first pitch deck for the fact that we are one of these 7 million small businesses on this platform. We had combined followers at 130,000, and currently it's 260. So it's doubled in the last how many months?
Yeah.
And that's because of how many people have decided that they wanted to learn in a more helpful way, from a more helpful place. And that's fucking coolest thing ever. I will say though, that it would not be a good potentially final sign off of TikTok without me kicking this dead horse one more time to show you guys something in case I never get to say it on TikTok again. And I'm going to share my screen.
Okay, hang on. Here I come.
I so hope this is Sage.
That would have been funny, but it's not. I'll never give that ass hat
no screen time
any time. This is a pie chart of TVL across all blockchains, and the big blue thing that is 57.73%, that's Ethereum. Just in case anybody wanted a visual representation of the fact
of
that
who the top dog is,
that Ethereum is not dying or dead or being replaced. All those other little slices, that's everybody else.
Is this on DeFi Llama?
This is DeFi Llama, yes. If you just go to the overview and hit chains, you can see heat map, all the protocols, and this beautiful big pie chart. So in our memory, remember us. Tell people that ETH has more TVL than everybody else put together.
It's not dead nor dying in any way, shape, or form.
Yeah,
not
so
even close.
I hope that this puts things in perspective. But no, it was really well said. And, I hope that I see you guys all here first thing Monday morning. If not, I'll hopefully see you guys on YouTube.
I will absolutely die on this.
Twitter and LinkedIn and Facebook and all that stuff. Or hop into the Discord too, because our strategies could change and stuff as we figure it out. If TikTok gets banned, we'll be letting people know in the Discord first.
That's right.
And then I did rug Sulu saying USDC or USDT. It really doesn't matter. It's totally personal preference. Personally, I use USDC just because it's more easily available on the exchanges and the platforms that I use. and there are some better options like closer to home for me to get yield on it. So personally USDC, but they're both big, gigantic, solid. USDT is by volume the biggest crypto on the planet and has been for years.
Mm-hmm.
True to form, Alex is yielding his ultimate final thought to answer a question.
Yes, always.
We had a request for Arlo one more time in case we go away. So is Arlo nearby? And I'll give you a final thought.
He is sleeping.
Oh, buddy. Well, don't worry. You'll be able to see Arlo plenty. We can put Arlo in the Discord as he grows. And I would just say, like you guys shared, it's been a hell of a journey on TikTok. TikTok gave me back the creative opportunity I had been missing in my life when, after derailing my career as a full-time actor, I had become a more occasional actor, was working like white collar professional jobs, dying slowly at a desk. And I picked it up as a way to create again in a medium I loved because the barrier to entry was so low. My very first TikTok video was in a library in like a study room. And I want to go back there when I make my goodbye in case TikTok video to just revisit it. But the journey from there to here, I have called it the 1000x investment. And I want to very briefly say that the best investment you can make is not, should I buy XRP right now? Should I buy Bitcoin right now? The absolute best investment you can make in a world where the internet exists and connects everybody from every culture, all languages, classes, races, etc., is to build a personal brand, is to invest in sharing your unique story so that the billions of other people in the world can have a chance to know you, like you, and trust you. If you commit to that, first of all, you are playing your strongest card because there has never been anyone like you. There will never be anyone like you. Therefore, be yourself and do it in public, because it's one thing to get $1 million trillion, and it's another thing that you might have 1 million people who would see you show up at their doorstep and say, man, I'm so glad you're here. Won't you come in for dinner? And that's the kind of thing that TikTok has given me and has given us the opportunity to build this. It has connected us with so many wonderful people, and really, truly, that has been an investment that has done 1000x for me and will probably do 1000x for all of you if you commit to it, whether or not you buy Bitcoin. So thank you guys for being part of my 1000x investment, part of my journey. I'm with these guys. I hope that we'll see you Monday. Oh, there he is.
He's awake.
Giving Arlo applause. Okay, my friends, that's the time. We got to go, but we will be back whether we're on TikTok or not on Monday. You can find us in the Discord. You can find us at theriseuppmorningshow.com, and we will see you then, 7 a.m. Central Standard Time. Until then, my friends, be safe, stay well,